remember where we met. You have to refresh my memory.
When you were doing the Frehley's Comet
dead.
rehearsals, the original Frehley's Comet rehearsals.
Okay.
I was coming down and hanging out with you guys. You met, my mom was your nurse at an oral surgeon's office.
Really?
Yeah, and you gave me laminates, and I came down and watched like almost all the Frehley's Comet rehearsals.
It's kind of coming back to me now.
Yeah, and then I went to your, like, the first tour. I was going to almost all the shows in the tri-state area, and the last time I saw you was actually on the first reunion tour. I was in Tampa, and you were up on the platform, and at the end of the show, and you looked down, and you're like, Chris. So you remembered me then.
All right, well, yeah, it's been a few years. What was that, 80?
Oh, that was, yeah, 86, I think, 87.
So that's 96, 27 years, 28 years.
The first record I ever bought was Kiss Alive, when I saved my own money, and Ace was the first, because I'd heard Ace play guitar before I'd heard Eddie Van Halen play guitar, so he was doing, like he said, he was doing that with the pick long before everybody came out doing the regular hammering with the... He was doing his thing with the pick. I just remember I was a Beatles fan, and my neighbors gave me Wings Over America, and I always liked the heavier music. So when he's laughing, when I heard Kiss Alive 1, I was so blown away by it was a band that was actually that heavy all the time.
It was the record that made Kiss. Yeah, you know, up until that point, we were still floundering.
Just was like, wow. This is this band.
You gotta love the Beatles, but you know, for me, when Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin hit the music scene, that was it for me. And the Who. I mean, the Beatles are great, and they have great harmony, and they write great, catchy songs. But you know, you listen to something by Hendrix or Led Zeppelin, it just took it to the next level. Exactly. And that's what Kiss did, you know, with our theatrics and everything else that we originated.
And it was heavy all the time.
You know, it's the evolution of rock and roll.
Yeah. And it was just so heavy and energetic, and the lights and sound, and it was something that really excited me towards going, okay, one day that's what I want to do, is I want to be like Ace Frehley, and that's it's kind of crazy. It was my influence. It was.
I get it all the time. I play guitar because of you, you know, but you know, I play guitar because of Hendrix and Jimmy Page and Jeff Beck and Eric Clapton, all those. You know, I went to see those guys when I was a teenager, and you know, I get it.
My first concert ever was Kiss at Nassau Coliseum.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. I went to see my doctor the other day, this new doctor, and he goes, "I was you for Halloween." I go, you know how many times people have told me that?
I was too, yeah. And I had a bad pair of Ace boots that I actually had no way to make them, so I nailed 2 2x4s underneath my snow boots and put tinfoil around it. And by like 2.5 blocks, I was just on this like half a green shoe with some wood on it. I didn't have much money as a kid, so you had to do what you had to do.
Yeah, you know, in the early days of Kiss, I mean, my mom, remember that shirt that Gene used to wear with the skull and crossbones? Yeah. My mom sewed that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and she also sewed the lightning bolts on my first leather shirt. You know, we made do with what we had until we got the big check from the record company, you know.
So what about when the guitar started smoking? Was that something you did? You rigged it funny at first, or?
That happened, you know, I came up, you know, a Les Paul, if you take off this plate, there's a cavity, and then there's a channel where the wires go, you know, to the pickups. So, you know, I'm thinking one day, I'm saying, what happens if I put a smoke bomb in here? There's nowhere else for the smoke to go but, you know, to come outside around the pickups. And that was working for a while. I was lighting them with a cigarette lighter, and I had the fuse coming out the back. You know, but after about, you know, 3 or 4 shows, you know, all the volume and tone controls got all gummed up from the smoke.
Did you ever burn yourself?
Yeah, well, I burnt myself, but, you know, once I realized it was something I wanted to do, you know, every night, I ended up routing out this part of the guitar, putting a metal box, you know, fake pickup with a light and the whole 9 yards, battery pack, and it worked flawlessly every night.
That's awesome.
You know, a lot of guys do it with their fingers. I do it with the guitar pick. And a lot of guys go. I did it with a guitar pick. This was the first Ace Frehley signature model, but this is one of the first 12. And if you notice the differences, the lightning bolts on these is mother of pearl. The lightning bolts on this is nickel silver. So these were like the first special 12 that I got. And I think they made about 100 or 500 of these.
They made 300 of the originals, and I had one of them. I had one of them stolen out of my house.
What's the serial number on this one?
This one was that one's a little bit later. My insurance company, because they said I do business out of my house, would only give me a certain amount of money, so